You know the plan they hand us, right? Go to school, land a job, and then just work for 40 years. 40 years! But what if that entire roadmap is just wrong? What if the real goal isn't just to retire when you're 65, but to actually buy back your life decades sooner?
Okay, that quote, it definitely hits hard. But what's so powerful about it is the truth underneath. See, getting to retirement early, it's not about winning the lottery. It's not about luck. It's just a math problem. And the best part, it's a solvable one. Once you see the formula, the entire game just changes.
And that's the real question, isn't it? Not 40 years, not 20, but 7. Can you actually seriously walk away from the 9-to-5 grind in less than a decade? Well, let's find out. To figure out the escape route, you have to understand the trap itself. In the traditional retirement path, well, it was never really designed to get you out early. It's built to keep you in the system, trading your most precious resource, your time, for a paycheck, right through the best years of your life. So this is key. We have to define what we're even aiming for. And it's not about being rich in the way you might think. It's about being free. Financial freedom is when your money is doing the work for you. It's generating enough cash on its own to cover your life. Work becomes something you get to do, if you want, not something you have to do. That right there, that's the real target.
Okay, so what does this freedom actually cost? Let's forget about the Lamborghinis and private jets for a second. Let's be real. What do you really need every single month to live a life you're happy with?
Let's just throw a number out there to get started. We're talking about a comfortable life, not some crazy, extravagant one. So let's use a target of, say, $2,500 a month. That works out to $30,000 a year. If you can build a machine that spits out that much cash passively, you've pretty much won the game.
And the engine that runs that machine, it's called the 4% rule. It's a really well-known guideline in finance. Basically, it says you can safely pull out 4% of your total investments every year. And in theory, your money should never run out because it's still growing and replacing what you take.
So, you do the math. If you need $30,000 a year, and that can only be 4% of your total pot of money, it leads you right here, $750,000. That's it. That's the number. In this scenario, that is the price of freedom.
Okay, 750 grand. That's a big number. It feels huge. So how on earth do you get there in just 7 years, especially if you're starting from nothing? Honestly, this is the point where most people just throw their hands up and say it's impossible. But this is exactly where it starts to get interesting.
Now, before we get to the really shocking number, we have to be real about our expectations. We're not using some crazy crypto return here. We're using a 7% real return. That means it's the number after inflation, taxes, and all those pesky fees have taken their cut. It's a solid, historically backed number.
All right, to hit that $750,000 goal in 7 years, starting from zero with that 7% return, you would need to invest $7,200 every single month. Whoa, wait a minute. $7,200 a month? For most people, that sounds completely out of reach. Is that it? Is the dream over?
No, not at all. That number is just what a calculator spits out. It's the default setting. It's the starting point, not the end of the story. The truth is, you have direct control over that number. There are 3 incredibly powerful levers you can pull to change the entire equation.
And this is the strategy. It's brilliant, really. It's not about finding one single magic trick. It's about attacking the problem from 3 sides at once, cutting down how much you need, looking at what you've already got, and then figuring out how to earn more along the way.
Okay, let's pull that first lever. What if your comfortable life doesn't actually cost $2,500? What if you can live an amazing life on, say, $2,000 a month, while your big target number drops to $600,000, and that monthly investment needed, it falls to around $5,700, or maybe you can get by on $1,500 a month. Suddenly, you're down to $4,300. That is a huge difference.
Now for the second lever, where are you starting from? All these calculations assumed you're starting with 0 in the bank. But what if you already have $100,000 saved up? If you just let that money sit and grow, it becomes over $160,000 in 7 years all by itself. That little head start cuts what you need to save each month by over $1,000. It's a massive advantage.
And then there's the third lever. And honestly, this is the one. This is the real game changer. Your income isn't set in stone. Over 7 years, you can learn new skills, you can get a promotion, you can change jobs, you can start a little side business. The kind of person who commits to a plan like this is also the kind of person who's focused on growth, and that growing income, that's the jet fuel for this whole machine.
So, we have the math, we have the levers to pull, but absolutely none of it matters without the one thing that holds it all together. And it's not about being a genius investor. It's about your behavior. It's about consistency, especially when things get rocky.
And this is the absolute truth of it. The numbers, they're simple. The hard part is actually sticking to the plan for 84 months in a row. Because the market will crash. Life will get expensive. Your own brain will scream at you to stop, to sell, to just wait it out. The people who actually pull this off are the ones who just tune out that voice and keep going. So how do you beat your own brain? You build a system. You take your own willpower and emotions completely out of the equation. You automate your investments so the money just disappears from your account before you can even think about it. You reinvest dividends automatically. You use simple, boring index funds so you're not trying to be a stock market wizard. You build a machine that runs on its own, one that's totally immune to fear and greed.
When you boil it all down, that's the choice, isn't it? Everybody pays a price for freedom one way or another. You can either pay it now, with discipline and consistency for 7 years, or you can pay it later with decades of your life. Decades spent in a job that you might not even like.
So, for just a second, forget all the numbers. Forget the charts. Just picture that one morning, the very first morning you wake up, and your time is 100% yours. No alarm clock, no rush hour traffic, no boss. That feeling, that is the payoff. That's what all this math is actually for.
So, look, here's the bottom line. The math works. The path is there. It's demanding, for sure, but it's clear. The only real question left is the one right here. 7 years from today, you'll either be pretty much where you are right now, or you could be free. And the difference between those two realities, it starts with the decision you make today.